Morning, everybody. Qroo here on my second cup of coffee. Should really cut back on the coffee. Said it's affecting my blood pressure, so that's a goal for 2025. Just want to do a quick video for you to explain what this whole paid group of mine, the Qroo Spanish Crew, is about. I mention it in a lot of videos, but I never get into any detail. So, little background, little less than a year ago, I launched the Qroo Spanish Crew. It is a paid group. It's inexpensive though, so I want to keep it. And the entire purpose was to help people reach their Spanish goals. You know, they're on Duolingo and some of these other apps, and, you know, there's a lot of gamification there, and they're fun, you know, and you've been on them for 365 days, but you still cannot speak Spanish. This was to help people reach that next level. Now, if you like the way that I teach on the main channel, you like my approach to Spanish, you know, how I break the language down into little formulas and patterns that you can learn, put in different order, say whatever you want to say, and logically create sentences that you may never have seen or heard before in Spanish in your entire life, but they will be grammatically correct. If you're liking that whole teaching style, you're going to love the Qroo Spanish Crew. It's like the main channel on steroids. It's completely enhanced. The whole experience is enhanced. There's a lot more interaction. There's exclusive content over there. Well, that's usually all I say in my videos. So let's go ahead. I'm going to show it to you. Let's talk about some of the exclusive content first. Right here is where I have my Spanish Master course. If you're anywhere below intermediate, this is where I recommend people start. You see over here to the left is all of the video lessons that are here. And they're presented in an order where each lesson builds on the ones before it. This is going to keep you busy. As we get here towards the end, I also start to incorporate some of the videos from the main channel into the course because people have asked me to do that. They're like, you have so much content, Paul. I don't know what order to take these things in. If you come over to the Qroo Spanish Crew, you're going to know. So in addition to the videos that are embedded here, you're also going to have all kinds of additional resources to help you study. So here, this is a summary of this particular lesson on saber y conocer. A full breakdown of the video, and below it you have some exercises. So if you want to practice, this can help you do that. So for you folks that are a little bit more intermediate or advanced, we have another section for you, and I go into it starts with a Spanish deep dive series, and I get really detailed on these things. For example, we get into the preterite and imperfect here. This particular video is 26 minutes long. You're going to have these extra resources down here, the summary, exercises. I also get into conjugation, so if people are struggling with conjugations, you can get a guide here to help you with that as well. But these are very detailed. It's the nuance. And the difference between somebody being, you know, a beginner or, you know, intermediate or high intermediate or advanced, it's not like it's completely different material. It's just that you know that material so much better. You understand the nuances of it. So yeah, as a beginner, I'm like, hey, here's the preterite. You're like, hey, I got it. Intermediate, I'm like, here's the preterite, but, you know, here's more about it. Here's some of the nuances. We're really going to get into the nitty gritty here. That's the difference. And you get that here in the Qroo Spanish Crew. I have another section here. It's called exclusive videos. There's exclusive videos all through this section. This is really miscellaneous exclusive videos. These are questions normally I'm answering for members of the Qroo Spanish Crew, and sometimes I'll do it, you know, in just a written message. Sometimes I'll create a video. If I create a video, it often turns up here. This next one is something I recently started. It's listening comprehension and story breakdown, and this has been super popular for people. So the way this works is you're going to listen to a story that's at an intermediate level, and it's to help you train your ear, you know, work on that listening comprehension. And I tell people, listen to it. If you don't understand something, you can back it up and listen to it again, but don't slow it down. Listening comprehension is something that you don't consciously do. You just have to expose yourself to the language enough that your brain starts to recognize those patterns, that speed, that cadence. You're not going to do that if you're slowing it down. Now, what makes this series particularly special is that immediately after, I go through the story line by line and break down the grammatical constructions and useful vocabulary. Sometimes that's 15, 20 minutes all by itself. Now, I'll tell you that members absolutely love this series. I get great feedback about this. Whether they're beginners, intermediate, or advanced, they're getting something out of that breakdown because I point out things for beginners. Hey, that's a really useful, you know, construction for your word list. but then I also get into the details and nuances as I move through it. We have another section here, worksheets and downloads. Some of the videos you see on the main site, I may have created a worksheet for members. You can usually find those here. Down here we have recorded live sessions, and I haven't gotten into live sessions yet, but I'll talk about it here in 1 minute. But after one of the recorded sessions, I will generally post the video here. Now let's talk about live events. That is something members get access to. So when you pop on the calendar over here, you can see what's going on. Let's see, we got coming up. So we have Intermediate Spanish. This is actually one of our regular instructors. He's Isaac from Mexico City. He conducts a live group session on Zoom a couple times a month, 100% in Spanish, to help folks work on their listening comprehension, and he encourages you to speak. Now I'm going to jump over to the Community tab. One of the things that makes the Qroo Spanish Crew what it is and makes it to where it's better than just, some random app that you're taking is this community function. This is where people can ask me questions directly. I typically begin my day by answering questions about the Spanish language for members. We have a lot of members in here who are at different levels. Some are very advanced, and they'll often chime in because they're a wealth of information also. You can learn so much just reading through the forum. Now, some members who join are like, Paul, I don't like Facebook, I don't like forums, I don't like profiles, I don't like any of this. I just want to access information. Can I do that? Yes, you can do that. You still have to set up a profile. It's just part of the whole school platform. But I'll tell you what, you can use a fake name, you can use a picture of anything. When you create an account, it's linked to your email, so that's how we track you anyway. Whatever you feel comfortable with, all right? You just be you. So that's the Qroo Spanish Crew. It currently has 2,400 members. The feedback I've received from people is super positive. You don't have to take my word for it. I'll put a link to reviews in the description section of this video. And just so you know, you can get a lifetime membership, which I think is the best thing to do. It's a great deal. I'm not sure how long it'll last. So if you pop in there and the lifetime thing is not there, don't say, Paul, you mentioned that video? Well, it may not be there forever. Anyway, there is a subscription. It's not expensive. If you want to sign up for a month, check it out, binge watch videos, download a bunch of stuff, and then quit. I mean, you can do that. Now, I'll tell you that most people don't. My churn rate is very low. People love being a part of it. And, well, I hope you do too. Well, that's it for the video. I was going to say go get my third cup of coffee, but I'm not. I'm just going to drink water. I've got water in my tumbler here, so. Well, thank you very much for following the channel, and I hope to see you in the Qroo Spanish Crew. Hasta luego.